You're listening to Cinema Red Pill. I'm Sharon and I'm with Malcolm. Malcolm has been on the show before, so welcome back, Malcolm. And I'm with Hibo.
Yay, my first podcast.
First podcast. Is there another name you add to Hibo, or is just
Hibo Elmi.
You introduce yourself as Afro Kush in real life, yeah?
Hibo Afro Kush the Nomad.
Anyway, we're just from seeing the Great Wall, so we're going to talk about the Great Wall. I think we had a fun experience.
It was great for some reason.
There's a lot of wins, man.
Yeah.
A lot of wins.
Sure.
Now, the Great Wall is by Zhang Yimou.
He did what, Home?
Now,
Hero?
Yes,
Hero.
Hero is one of the films he did.
Yes.
The film which I was trying to tell you about, Malcolm, was House of Flying Daggers.
Oh,
You've definitely,
Yes.
I told you it's a film you've definitely heard about.
Yeah.
So
Even seen.
Zhang Yimou is quite a big deal director. And this film has Matt Damon.
And the other guy?
He's Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
I
Yeah.
can't believe I remembered his name without even writing it down, but he's been in Narcos.
Narcos, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Narcos, and he's also in Game of Thrones.
And he's beautiful.
And it also has... I forgot
You can
his
see us all
name
nodding.
again. The other guy, the American guy.
Who's not Matt Damon? Willem Dafoe.
William Dafoe.
Yes.
The
Willem
badass.
Dafoe.
The three white guys in this Asia.
This film is it's a fictional film about the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious. But in this Great Wall of China, apparently what went down is that there's some lizard-like, dragonish things that are attacking them, and that's why they built the Great Wall for over 1,500 years. Because
Yeah.
you see they have like a 900-year plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been going down.
It's been there.
Yes, so like you were saying about the money, this is actually the most expensive film that the Chinese have done.
Oh, really?
You can tell.
Most expensive film out of
It's the
China?
most expensive film out of China, which they're bringing out to a global. And then, of course, it was a collaboration between the Americans and the Chinese.
Yeah.
There were so many production companies between the two.
Yeah.
And Matt Damon was brought on because attract the
That's money.
American people.
The
Sure.
market.
There was a controversy with this film, of course, because they thought Matt Damon would be a white savior.
Yeah, and he
That
was.
film. And he... we'll get into that.
Is that a spoiler?
It's not a spoiler at all.
The white savior is
That's why
always
he's
there.
that's what he was doing in the
Tarzan,
movie.
so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, Tarzan I think was a bit worse than the...
Oh, this was extreme. Tarzan was extreme. Like they even sang a song, Yesu, blah blah blah, like
Oh,
as if he was
wow.
God.
There's
But
a
we
real-
get it.
Yeah, we
They
see
don't
it.
get it.
We see
We
it.
get it.
We see it. They get it also.
Anyway, now let's get into talking to the film as a film. The thing I know about both of you is you're great at aesthetics, you're great at images, and so I want you to hear your opinion on that.
Well, aesthetically, like what I really loved about the film is like first, it's warm at the beginning and it's cold when they're in the wall. So I really loved that two contrast that they did because it's really tricky to have a film with two colors. And also I really love the fact that in cold places they used heavy colors like red, blue, yellow, so that they can give the warmth in the cold. So that was really beautiful for me, and a lot of aerial shots because it's very hard to get aerial shots and include the characters.
Wait,
in
first
it.
explain to me the aerial shots.
Like the whole scenery.
Yeah,
They will
there's so many
build
scenery
the world
shots.
So
with
many
it.
aerial
There's that
shots.
amazing like one shot where they follow these guys as they go
Yeah.
into the dungeons.
And
It's
then
like
they-
a single shot
Yes.
for like maybe 2 minutes.
That was
They go
so
into the
good.
dungeon, but they come out and it turns into this huge drone shot.
And they
You're
didn't
like,
cut it.
even
Yeah,
cut it.
they didn't even cut it. So that was so beautiful. Like there was a lot of tricks that they used, and the people were highly choreographed.
Yeah.
Which was amazing because like when the camera is moving, there's also the movement of the
Yeah.
people. So there's a lot of movement happening, and yeah, I like the fact that even the extras were not just extras; they had a role to play, you
Yeah.
know, and they were also part of the film. Like they were also important. That's what I really love. They were not just some extra people heads to count, but every single person in the film did something.
Yeah.
So I really like that about the film too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the chicks, man, shit.
Yes.
To have that kind of power in a film to show that the women are also leaders and they're strong.
Yeah.
That we have to see a lot because we never
They were
get to see
absolutely no different from the
Yeah.
men.
Yeah.
She was
And
not a
there's this-
mistress, a concubine. They were
Yeah.
all
Nothing,
soldiers.
yes.
It's a very cool history, man. It was like you get an idea of the past where, yeah, you don't have to think of the past as just being this guys on horses. It's
Yeah.
also just a lot of badass shit.
Yeah.
And about like the choreography, dude, I felt it was like visual music, like the way And I think that's partly why they color coordinated the entire army. It's a really cool way to organize the army, but also visually watching it from afar, seeing these different battalions move past each other and move in sync and in formation. Shit, man.
Yeah.
But the best formation was possibly the monsters for me. The monsters were amazing. They were like a swarm of just...
Yeah.
They were like, as you said, the zombies from World War Z at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, but
That was
also
there.
anciently, like if we go back in history, China also had like their demons, they had their dragons, they had all this, even like you can historically they believed in this ancient demons and animals. So like they can also have that
For sure.
in their history.
But he also had an interesting theory about the possibility that this was like a Chinese metaphor for the invasion of the Mongolians.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know enough about Chinese history to like to get that, but I think it would be an interesting like.
Yeah, the wall was built to keep them away because they were expanding very high when Genghis Khan was ruling. So like, and so like maybe it's like a metaphor of all the enemies they protected without offending anybody. So now they made them creatures.
Yeah, which is
They're like,
even
they're
more
smarter.
offensive.
Oh.
I think of this as a pop movie, like as a very. You know, you listen to a pop song and you think about it the day after because it's so catchy. So it hits all the right notes, you
That's
know?
the way you
Makes
took
you
it.
sing. Yeah, for me, that's what this movie was. I don't think it was a very nuanced movie. I don't think it was a very complicated film. But I thought it presented things very simply. It gave you the emotional releases you want. It did keep us away from like the romantic tension, the romantic thing between those guys, which is cool. Like I like that. That didn't happen, and that's cool. But generally, it just satisfies hits the right notes, and you go. So I felt like the choreography and the bright colors and the Matt Damon was this all a very well super choreographed spectacle. It was too clean for me to fully like embrace, but I enjoyed it anyway.
Okay. One of my biggest qualms with this film was its character acts. Mostly with Matt Damon, who is the main character, who they kind of try to give us a backstory of in a bit of dialogue and everything. First of all, I would say I had a problem with his accent, which was extremely weird. So, one of my worst parts, which is where they try to make the character get some sort of realization of why, now let me change my perspective on the way I was. They even give him this whole bad past, like you were selfish,
you were a
you
killer,
used to kill people. Exactly. So then they give him this sort of moment where he changes his perspective and he's like, let me help these Chinese people and save them.
Because of trust.
Yes, I trust them. They even try to set up the trust thing, and you wait for that trust moment to be some sort of big transition. I don't know, maybe I'm asking for dramatics, but I don't think I'm asking for dramatics. I'm just asking
Was it too
for a
sudden
moment.
for you? Was the arc too sudden?
It wasn't too sudden. It just wasn't executed in a nice way for me to believe it. When it came on, I was rolling my eyes. I would appreciate for a moment where it's happening and I see its past and I understand where he's coming from and I see even why he would be able to change that way.
Part of the reason why I'm not
was
disappointed in it
painful.
is because I feel like I could see a lot of these things from the beginning. I could see who Matt Damon is going to end up being, the white savior who's like, let me help these people who need me.
But also, he was the white savior.
100%.
Okay, no problem. But then technologically, the Chinese people were developed.
so
you
advanced,
understand?
dude.
They were so advanced. But sometimes people enjoy the simplicity of movies like this because there are a lot of people different from us that hate complex movies.
Really hate them, huh?
Really hate them.
Bored by them.
They're bored by them because it's not that kind of taste. You have to have a taste for something. Like you can't eat all kind of cheese if you don't love cheese. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I disagree with that. I personally feel like as human beings we recognize things that are closer to our realities, but it's also easy to be bored by them. I think sometimes like complex narratives happen in boring movies, I'll say it, happen in movies that aren't trying to entertain you, which is very valid, and which many movies that I love are like that. But still, I feel
I like how you use I think it's a you thing. It's a very subjective thing for you. You like the complex movies. Sometimes you'll appreciate films like this, the way she describes it, that are not complex in their narrative. But then you want to be challenged. Are you going to watch 100 Great Walls and be happy with what you're seeing? You want something that challenges you. You won't want that predictability that it had. This film was so predictable. You knew it from the scratch, and that's what you're giving it. You're kind of letting it pass for that because you're like, I knew this was going to happen, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to fault it because I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But
Pretty
that
much.
is sucky about it. Predictability kind of kills your experience.
It
'Cause
really does.
Like what she said,
Yeah.
the film she saw where she could not predict shit
Yeah.
was something she won't forget.
And I can watch it again.
Yeah.
Because
No, I'm just saying. I don't
I
think.
don't know.
I don't think. Oh, there's people
You're
out there who
being
don't like
objective
complex
about it there.
narratives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like who don't like nuanced characters or complicated characters. I just feel that they often, the people who create movies also see it in that way, where there's a box for complicated films that are really boring and slow and barely have any. You know what I mean? Don't have any music
I
and aren't
know
even
what you
graded or whatever.
mean.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, everyone else is like, okay, we're gonna make some movies everyone's gonna love, and they have to be simple and
Yeah.
whatever. And I feel like no, that doesn't have to be our only two options. And I think most audiences don't recognize the complexity of those narratives. Don't come out and be like, I love that character. They're really nuanced and they're really whatever. But still, they will somehow have more affinity to that character for that reason.
the movie is simple, like the story, but the way they shot it and everything is not
Yeah.
simple. Like honestly, every like simple like
It wasn't.
movies that you think like okay, this is not complex. The complexity is in the technique.
Yeah,
that's
the
the
execution.
trick they use. The execution.
Yeah.
That's what they do. Like okay, I'll make the film the way you like it, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna add my twist for those who will see beyond the
Yeah.
simplicity of the story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good way to put it. There's something else I wanted to bring up to you guys. Wait, I think I'm forgetting it.
It's okay, we'll come.
Tomorrow? Well, no. It can't come to me tomorrow. Oh. It's something we actually talked about while we were seeing the film. I wanted to bring up about how we talked about how the Chinese were advanced, but then they made it seem like Matt Damon is the one who came up to them and showed them the techniques that they needed to learn. Didn't that bother you guys?
So much.
bothered me
So
a
much. Oh my
lot.
god. Seeing Matt Damon come through and suddenly he understands the
man.
technology of, the chain pulley when they're trying to hunt down the
Yeah.
thing. Like how you know what I mean? It seemed like these guys were doing things but were clumsy or weren't innovative or weren't like precise. And I'm like, how is this guy just coming out of nowhere?
Just-
like even his background as a character does
Yeah.
not precipitate him to be
justify
a precise
it.
like
Yes,
engineer.
Exactly.
You know what I
The
mean?
man who they dealt with this creature for years and years to
Yeah.
come. And this guy out of the blue, who's never seen the creature, who doesn't know what it is,
Yeah.
comes and saves them. I hate that when they
How?
were perfectly
How?
organized,
You know that scene at the top?
perfectly trained soldiers.
You know that scene in the
Like,
first
oh,
battle
yes.
when like so many guys get like 100 at least on screen get ended. 100 Chinese guys get ended by those things.
Yes.
They start chowing them. Then at some point, Matt Damon and his boy get freed and they kill like 2 of them. But the thing is, Sharon pointed out at some point, she was like, yo, why did the battle suddenly turn around? And we realized it's literally because Matt Damon and his boy just had these 2 minor
You're like,
victories in the thing.
These dragons turned back because Matt Damon came on the scene.
Came on the scene,
And
pretty
he
much.
destroyed all those.
He changed the game.
But majority of the body of the creatures
Yeah.
were down. If
Yeah,
you notice,
yeah.
that means the people are the ones who did all this greatness. But
Yeah.
all of a sudden, they killed 2,
White
and they're
champion.
the heroes.
Yeah, champion.
Is there anything else you want to say about the Great Wall? I think we should move on from it now.
Yeah, we're finished already.
Yeah, kinda.
Wait, the Great Wall, like
What else did you have to? Any other opinion you have of it?
yeah, and also about the romanticness of it.
Thank you. Bring that up, please.
Yeah.
Well, there's a pro and a con. Like the pro is I love it when 2 people in love can't get each other because the love is left there or whatever. But they don't always have to fall in love. Please, like that's just
They kind of didn't make it obvious love.
Yeah.
it's there.
They tried to make it an ambiguous love, but it was there. Like,
So,
like I said,
yeah.
I kept thinking like he's doing it for her.
Like I wish they'd made the twist and like Narcos had fallen in love with her instead, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I wish, like,
Because him closing the door and giving them privacy
yeah.
shows that moment of like yeah, but
It's your things.
yeah.
These are the things. You guys,
Please,
these are your
don't
things,
fall in
guys.
love all the time. It makes no sense. Like
It was a cheesy movie,
So
dude. It was
cheesy.
so well executed. Like I don't know. It was a
Exactly,
good
that's
pop
the
song
thing.
for me, man. It was like a good ass
That's
Justin
what I
Bieber
would
song.
say. Like, would it? It's something that's just
It's like,
going
sorry.
with mindlessness. Just watch. It's a popcorn movie. That's the
Yeah.
best way I would describe it.
Yeah, it's not the kind of movie that's trying to discover new. Maybe it did technically, like I don't know, it might get some
Technically,
awards
yeah.
in sound, but like for sound
I
and for
don't
like
think it was
costume design.
anyone.
But also I really
the Power
like the
Ranger
transitions very well. I really love them. They didn't use this typical transitions. They used like either a body or a flag or something moving. Like even when they cut the lantern like this, that was their opening transition to the other scene, which was really nice. I really loved it a lot.
CGI was a lot. That's one of the first things I noticed.
Extreme.
It was a lot and it was
And
evident.
it was a bit on the nose. It was.
I wouldn't call it on the nose, but you
It's the
knew
phrase I
these
used.
are things that don't exist. Of course, there's CGI.
But I want to ask one question. If this movie came out of Africa, how would you feel?
Whoa.
If Matt Damon came through, because that's
No,
what
no,
that's
not
how
even
that's
No,
what
Matt
I
I
Damon.
imagine.
wouldn't want
The whole
Matt
movie.
Damon in it.
If it came out
The
of
scale
Africa,
of it, the
Yeah.
execution of it, and
Exactly.
the Matt Damon of it
it
as
would be
well.
a great movie because it's like something that never happens.
Hibo,
You know what? I feel like I'll be even more touched
things
actually.
that do have stuff, even if you said you would not have a problem if there was Matt Damon in it.
Like
In
not
Africa.
even Matt Damon, like the whole execution.
The execution would be amazing. But I kept thinking of a film I recently saw, which was Train to Busan. Have any of you seen it?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Exactly. Now
stop
imagine the
talking about
main guy was a white guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't it lose
I will
its
never watch it.
authenticity?
100%.
I will never watch
100%.
it.
It loses its authenticity
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And this is what this film did. It
Yeah.
lost its authenticity with me. Although I was happy at least they had some Chinese things in it because I kind of got the perspective that it was in English.
Yeah, dude.
100%.
I thought it was going to be like Gods of Egypt or some shit.
I know, Gods of Egypt was 100%
Please don't
English.
even mention the title is even wrong. Like don't mention it.
I know. So I appreciate the fact that at least it had some Chinese speaking parts and it showed that the people were actually Chinese and everything. But
Yeah.
okay, I think we're done talking about the Great Wall.
We'll pop
You
in
know
here
we
and there.
are. Wait. One thing, like, would we tell people to watch this film? Would you
Yes.
spend your money on the Great Wall?
Okay. So here's the thing.
Humor.
Ah,
On the Great Wall,
Yeah.
I would advise people to watch it.
you would, eh? And
Yeah,
spend money
it's
on
for
it.
fun.
And okay,
But like no, get
I
the
like
bootleg
that
CD.
for fun.
Yeah.
for fun.
Or just get the CD from Roshan for 2K and watch it, bro. Like, bro. Seriously.
Yeah, that's a major part. Okay, the Lego Batman, we've both not seen it, so sell us.
I would tell all my friends to watch. Actually, one of my big disappointments in life is realizing from this experience, from telling people how amazing Lego Batman is, and seeing how their faces just don't react. How many people in my life don't appreciate animated films?
I love animated.
No, but
Yeah, they're
you're not
like-
all the people in my life. Many people in my life really don't fuck with animated
them.
films, dude. I need to make some changes in 2017,
Please.
I think. Because Lego Batman is amazing. If you've seen the Lego film, you know already.
Yes, yes.
The Lego Batman was one
Everybody-
of the standout characters. He was such a great revision of the character. I feel
Yeah.
like in the same way that we loved Heath Ledger's revision of the character.
Really?
Will Arnett's. I just compared Will Arnett's revision of Batman
Yes.
to like Heath Ledger. I'm
Heath
sorry,
Ledger.
R.I.P. But like, I feel it's a revolutionary like change of the character. He just gives no. Lego Batman is a frat boy. He's an overgrown rich. Like I think they took the character and they were like, who would this guy really be? Billionaire, lives by himself. Just has so many toys in life and in the world. Has too much money. Doesn't seem to do like actual life things and work things. Batman is conceivably an asshole. Like in real life, he's conceivably an asshole. Bruce Wayne is possibly that guy. You remember that Dan Bilzerian guy? Danny Bilzerian? He was an Instagram guy with a beard who just did a lot of crazy shit because he had a bunch of money.
Maybe
And they
rings
just-
the bell, but
Yeah, he had
no.
this had lots of pictures on Instagram with like just really just white chicks and like tigers and like cars. Is this you remember that guy?
Yes.
Remember that guy?
Yes.
Yeah, that's who I think Bruce Wayne would be, and that's what Will Arnett did with in Batman.
In the Lego Batman.
The Lego Batman.
Okay.
It opens with black, right? Literally the voice of Will Arnett going black. All great movies start with black. Music, dark music, the kind of music that makes parents and record executives and film executives nervous. And then the music kicks in and then the credits kick in. And it's kind of like,
Awesome.
I thought it was like Deadpool. You know, Deadpool was aware that it's a movie. It was aware it's a...
That's what it does.
That's really what it does. It's very aware of itself. So it's not like Lego Batman knows you know movies. It knows you know what's going on. And it just fucks with you for that reason.
That's nice.
It's so great. One of my favorite things about it, I can't stop talking about this, is how in the action scenes, in the fight scenes, every time there's guns, the gunshots, the sound effects for the gunshots, it's literally human voices going pew 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 pew
That's
pew.
cool.
And like the gun, even when it's like a huge ass like like a space shuttle, they're not space shuttles, but like a battleship, huge ass battleship plane,
Yeah.
it's still going pew pew pew. I love it so much. This movie is like, you know what? Sit down. This is not that serious. We're gonna make it through an hour and a half of just laughs, pretty much, and it's great for that reason. And sometimes that's not at all what the film is trying to do, which is why I can honestly sit through The Great Wall and be like, okay, you seem to have done the things you guys were trying to do. You entertained us, you gave us an epic spectacle, you gave us, that's fine, that's great. Lego Batman came through. It's a fantastic. It's a great animated film. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a great
That's
action
what it
film.
wants to do.
It tells some nice stories. It gives you the feels sometimes. Also, is it a spoiler? Guys,
But
one of my favorite moments is the introduction of Robin in Lego Batman.
Okay.
Guys, is so good. Just know the keyword is reggae. I'm done. I'm
really,
done. That's it. That's it.
Ay.
okay. Can we talk about
Xander,
Xander Cage?
yes.
Okay, let's talk
It's
about
gonna be
Xander
interesting.
Cage. So,
Yeah.
had you watched the previous films?
Yeah, definitely.
Did you
I
love
love
them?
Did you
Vin
like
Diesel.
them?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have a different perspective. You're
Yeah.
going to have a different perspective. So let me first give my
Please
bad
give your bad
perspective. So Xander Cage, I feel like Xander Cage is just a movie that is Fast and Furious, but worse, and just doesn't want to call itself Fast and Furious. It has those punchlines. Those for this one, it's ex people have their each other's back. You know, the way Fast and Furious has we are
family.
family. But do you see how much this is less
Family is
than
everything.
that? Exactly. Family is everything for this ex got each other's back. That was terrible. So another thing that I found out was, okay, sorry, I'm just gonna go why it was terrible, because this is Vin Diesel riding
very
on
upset. Please get it
yes
off
I
your
was.
chest.
This is Vin Diesel on skateboards. First of all, he looked weird as fuck.
Because he's so big.
He is so big. I just felt like, is this something Vin Diesel could do? Get someone who could actually go on some skateboard. It begins in this way, where he's basically skating down some mountain full of trees. This place is full of trees. Vin Diesel is riding down that shit suavely. Of course, he's not doing that. That made me uncomfortable. Another thing that made me super uncomfortable, which was one of the running themes in the entire film, everyone in this film wants to fuck Vin Diesel.
Oh, word.
Well,
Yes.
it makes sense.
Because
Real life,
Vin
dude.
Diesel comes into a scene of a million girls and
Yeah.
all they want is him,
Yeah.
and he basically, I don't know how to lightly say this,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to be vulgar with this. They basically fuck him till they sleep. Because in
They
the
fuck him
morning,
till they-
all
they
of them
fuck him
are
till they
sleeping.
sleep, yeah.
And
And
because
him?
as in he wears all of them out.
And
In the
him?
morning they just show them in a scene as they are so exhausted.
And him?
And him, he's alive, and where he's like, I do this for my country.
The thing they do for my
Can
country.
you imagine that shit, Malcolm? And then this is not the end of them showing us how everybody in this film wants to fuck Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
They bring in a new character who is Nina Dobrev.
Yes.
Smitten over her,
Yeah.
over him. She's basically in a
course.
position where she looks like she's sexually harassing the
She
dude.
does.
And it's like she's risking her job. I will sexually harass this
Yeah.
dude in front of my boss. I don't give a shit
I
because
feel like
he's
he will
sexy
get why
as
everyone
fuck.
wants to fuck Vin
Yeah.
Diesel.
Maybe,
now.
you know, I mean,
I
the
feel like she
perspective of
can't relate
Hibo
with
must
your
have been
problem.
in the thing of
I
where, like,
was in it.
I am like Nina Dobrev right now.
Yes.
Me, I wasn't in it. I'm like, what? Anyway, so in my understanding was XXX, because Samuel L. Jackson has this whole montage where he explains them. Remember, I haven't watched the previous films. We'll get Hibo's perspective. Who has watched the previous films? I've not.
Okay.
I hadn't watched the previous film, so he gave me the setup. It's like sports guys. But later, they introduced characters. A guy who just likes ramming into stuff. He plays the Hound on Game of Thrones.
Oh.
All he does is smash into stuff. You remember him? He would drive into stuff,
Yeah.
and that was his thing.
Yeah.
He's part of the XXX. There's also this guy who's just a fucking DJ. Don't get his point?
Okay.
Yes.
It's like a music film when they're rolling to the action
Malcolm, you
sequence.
don't even want to know how
They're
much
rolling to
that
the
guy
fight.
did not make sense. I cannot even get
Did he
into
ever
that
fight?
one. Of course, he one day tangled
shot
someone
something.
with his
With
earphones.
cables.
He tangled someone with his earphones. Wait, one of the only reasons why I give this film any credit is Donnie Yen. the Chinese guy, he has good fight scenes.
Yeah,
they were
he's a
actually
legend.
really, really good.
And the other
Like,
guy, what was his name?
Tony Jaa.
Tony Jaa.
Those two. And what was my aunt? I don't even think I have an aunt. Just go
Before I
Hibo.
forget, I feel like XXX was a bunch of guys who are like, let's make a James Bond
Yes.
for the 20th, 21st century.
Millennials.
We're gonna put in a person of color. We're gonna make him just like, this bald-headed, quote unquote, I don't know, gangster. Just give him some cool ass, like, extreme, like, things, but also make everything as extreme as possible about it. The gadgets, the fight scenes. Like, I'm sure it was a parody at first, like a satire, and then someone was like, "What? This is a movie."
Let's make this.
Yeah. Okay, so
Hibo, what did you think of this?
The first XXX, that was really beautiful. Like, I really loved it because it had more story. Like him, he had a background, and like the way they found him, because he was an extreme, like, sports guy, and then the government needed him, or the ex-people needed him to save the country, which was pretty awesome. The first one, I really loved it. The second one is Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
I didn't really like that one. I don't even remember it. But I know I liked it when I watched it as a kid. I was very young. So I was like, yeah, awesome, action. But the new one, what I like about it is, like, in this time of age, after watching Rambo, the hero, one guy who takes out a whole nation of Vietnam by himself, after watching that, you can accept anything in your life. Anything. Because one guy defeats a nation, that's everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so these movies, usually, I think they're made, one, to entertain the people with the people they like. Oh, I saw Neymar, I love him, and then I saw these people, and the whole movie is action. People just like to see guns blazing, impossible things, to feel rowdy and imaginative. Like, the creatures in movies, they don't exist. So, like, you can create something that people can't fathom in their head. And I really love the characters. I love Vin Diesel so much. Like, he can sit in a chair and I can watch him for hours. So you see? Exactly. He can sit in a chair and I can watch him. That's how much I love the guy.
Okay.
But I really love the fact that all this action-packed, but I only hated when the Indian girl spoke.
She said things.
Like, she's so hot and she's sexy, and then she starts talking. I'm like, why? Like, she's an action figure, she's strong, and her voice is like, so you're like, okay, it killed that powerful, sexy woman for me. I don't know why. And she's like the badass, which never happens. Talking about her tattoo, which I didn't care, because all I was seeing was Vin Diesel and the action, and that's what I really loved about the film.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Age of 17.
Edge of 17. So, okay, the Edge of 17, what I like about it is, like, the originality of the story. So it's about a girl who is, like, who hates life, basically. That's how I saw her. She hates life, but she's, like, discovering herself because she has no friends. She has only one friend who is in love now with her brother. So she's alone again.
Yes.
And now she has to deal with her life and how she could be herself by even being alone, and like also trying to fit in at the same time, which she tried for a long time. She should have given up when she was a kid, honestly. Like, she tried that long to fit in. And yeah, she should have given up. But the originality and how bad she is, her words, and how she's actually confident in a way. She might not show it to people, but she's confident because she knows who she is. And like, her state of mind, she's a grown-up, she's like vintage, and these people are the same. So she stands out because she is like more mature. And like,
is that part of her arc, just realizing that she's actually
she knows
she
it.
starts off like that.
Yeah, she knows it. Like, she doesn't fit in because these people are not her people. That's like the beauty of her. Like, her character is a complete human being searching for a meaning, which is nice.
She's already set.
She's set, but she's still searching for a meaning, which is really
It's a cool coming of age way to do a coming of age
So
story.
good.
What did you think of it?
So my favorite thing about the film is how the girl is basically an asshole. She's an asshole to everyone around her. I really love imperfect female characters. That's one of my favorite things these days. Broken, because I think most girls are put into this clear-cut place where they're actually making a broken boy go right, but this time it was more of a broken girl.
Somebody
and her
fix
trying
her.
trying to fix her. So I loved how she was an asshole, and one of my best things about it is they actually set up her assholeness.
Yes.
Because there's a film, I don't want to point it out, but there's some films where you see a character being an asshole and you don't understand why they're being an asshole,
Yeah.
and you can't even find yourself to try to understand an asshole, and they're the lead character. And you know that feeling where you're looking at a lead character and he's an asshole and you don't know how to sympathize with him.
Yeah.
But this chick was such an asshole, but you could sympathize with her. You could kind of get why she's doing these things. It was amazing. She was a total dick.
She was a dick.
And even you would think it's good that her resolve comes out right. Like everything sorts out for her.
Yeah.
They don't over put in, like she has that best friend that she talked about, but they don't dwell on it so much.
They don't dwell on
I
it.
liked that a lot. But
Yeah.
that I loved Haley Steinfeld. Haley Steinfeld is the lead character in this film, and she's so good.
Yeah.
She and then there's
Woody
this guy, the guy.
Woody
Yes,
Harrelson.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Woody fucking Harrelson.
Woody
I
Harrelson.
love
Teacher,
it.
right?
Yeah, he was a teacher.
Yes.
So, like the thing with his character though, what I loved is the way he played with her mind.
Yes.
He made her seem like he's in the same place as her, so that he can make her understand there's a way out.
Yeah.
His life was not bad.
Yeah.
He tricked her. He tricked her, and she ran with it.
Oh, you actually liked it.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like
No,
it.
I loved it, but I think it's not the greatest movie I watched because I prefer
course.
American Honey more than that film.
I loved American
Yeah.
Honey. Okay, guys, this has been our episode. I've been here with Malcolm and Hibo.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Hibo, awesome to have you.
It was really
Malcolm,
nice.
awesome to have you again.
Thanks for having me back. Thanks
Thank
for
you so much.
You guys have been listening to Cinema Red Pill. Yeah,
Another time.
that's it. If you have any feedback, Facebook, Twitter.
Oscars?
Yeah?
Another Oscar?
Next day on Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need the
Watch those
Oscars.
movies.
Anyway, Facebook, Twitter, email.